Hi, and welcome to It's the Hard Work People, Passion, and Purpose podcast. This podcast is about people who found their passion and walking into their purpose. This podcast is for entrepreneurs who are on their journey to success and sharing their stories to other people who are on the journey because entrepreneurship, it is a journey. It's a huge journey moving from working for someone to working for yourself. So on It's the Hard Work, we're talking to people who they found that passion and they're walking in that purpose because it takes purpose to get to your journey, to continue your journey. Because if all you have is passion, sometimes passion can overthrow us. Sometimes passion can have us so locked into our goal that we miss other opportunities that can help us get there. And today I have a guest with me, Mr. Mekal Smith, founder and president and CEO of the Sleepy Owl Company. It's a publishing company, and he's going to share his journey with us in starting this publishing company, the pivots that he's had to make, and just where he is on that journey. So, Mr. Smith, we're so glad to have you with us today, Mekal, to share your journey with us about Sleepy Owl Company. So, tell us about who you are and how did you get to this point with Sleepy Owl?
Yes, sir. So first off, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for uh, allowing me to be and share this time and space with you on this good Sunday. So I am Mekal Smith. First and foremost, I am a brother, six sisters and two brothers. I am the oldest. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I went to the oldest high school, the oldest Black high school in the South, Howard High School, being founded in 1865. Um, and being from Chattanooga, Tennessee, small town, but not really too small. But it was to me, it was an abode. We're surrounded by mountains, so we were surrounded, like we're in a bowl. We love each other, but it's just like when you get out of Chattanooga, you realize how big the world is. Um, Most importantly, I am a father. I love my little girl. Being a dad, I became a dad in 2021. Her name is McKenna Smith, McKenna Murray Smith. Her initials is M&M's. I'm glad I had something to do with that because I have a sweet tooth. But being a dad is so important to me, and it kind of is one of the key factors that had this hustle and this burning desire for I need to do something not only for myself but for her as well. Because I truly believe entrepreneurship is the path to wealth and stability within your family and generating power within your family. Because it is my goal, it is my intention for my daughter to have the option to not work for anyone else, but for me, for the family business. So that's why I kind of got on this path. Um, and that's why I'm sticking to this path. But how I got onto the path of entrepreneurship was quite tragic. And that's why I'm here today. Worked for the FBI for 5 years. Had a great supervisor director who was above me, who kind of pushed me to challenge myself, who pushed me to do more for others and look outside of myself and look outside for the sake of others. She was in the Air Force, and there's a theme of the Air Force is service and community service and giving to others rather than yourself. And there's a quote that she taught me: to thine own self be true. And she has it tattooed on her arm, and I'm gonna get it tattooed somewhere so we can have matching tattoos because that lady truly pushed me to become the man that I am today. From juggling being a full-time dad, full-time employee with the FBI, and becoming a full-time student, getting my master's in the University of Tennessee, Knoxville in taxation accounting. I graduated from Tuskegee University in 2016 with my bachelor's in psychology. And then Tuskegee, home of the Swift Growing South, beautiful school. The people there, the challenges that I had faced, it molded me to be this high-ranking man amongst society. So that's Mekal Smith, proud dad, proud big brother, and a service to all people, and just loving people and just helping in any way, shape, or form that I can for people.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Is it a pipeline from Howard High School to Tuskegee with both of them being some of the oldest?
Man, you would think so, but no, sir. There's no pipeline, and the chance of me getting into Tuskegee was happenstance. An alumni who went to Tuskegee was working at Howard High School, who kind of met me and saw some potential in me. She was like, you know what, you'll be great at Tuskegee. And I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't know how I was going to afford it, but all I know was she sent me on this college tour that got and went to Tuskegee. The college tour that I support and promote every year, it takes sophomores and juniors to all the Black HBCUs in the South. It's a church, and they go and visit all these schools. And the year I was the first inaugural student class that went on the tour bus, and our bus had broke down at Tuskegee. And the day that we were visiting Tuskegee, the students came out and they like met us with love. They entertained us while our bus was being worked on, and they taught us so much about the school. And I remember going to the pastor, I'm like, Pastor, this is where I'm going. I'm going to Tuskegee. The people were so family oriented. It's in the middle of nowhere, so it's like, and the campus itself is this beautiful array of infrastructure being built by the students back in 1881, the history, George Washington Carver, Booker T. Washington, like all these people amongst this school, and I get to stand amongst giants. So Tuskegee has forever have a love and a place in my heart. I will never miss a homecoming. I will never miss an opportunity to speak on Tuskegee's behalf. And I wish there was a pipeline because more people and those two connections would be great.
Absolutely. I started teaching at Parker High School in Birmingham, which is the oldest Black high school in Alabama. And I had an opportunity to visit Tuskegee through the summer literacy program that I used to be a part of. The Alabama Literacy Symposium used to put on. So I got a chance to visit George Washington Carver's lab and all of those things as I was there. So it was an exciting time for me. And I'm a alumni of an HBCU as well, Jackson State University, the Jackson State University.
Yeah,
so I'm in good company this morning. So thank you for sharing all of that and sharing your journey with us. Let's talk about the Sleepy Owl Company. Tell us, what is the Sleepy Owl Company and where are you with it right now?
Yes, sir. So Sleepy Owl Company is an online storytelling platform that is evolving the storytelling process. We're inviting and invigorating the storytelling process for readers, authors, and poets to create a new twist to the reading experience to deliver to potential readers. The story on how the Sleepy Owl Company came out of tragedy. My best friend of over 10 plus years was murdered on my birthday, and he went to Morehouse. I went to Tuskegee, and we were rivals, academic rivals on who can be the smartest, who can be the best academically. And that helped us get out of Howard High School and go to our respective colleges. So he had a passion for storytelling. Every college break, we'll come home from college, we'll meet up, and he'll be like, Mekal, read this story I wrote. And as I'm reading that story, the words were so greatly conveyed that it was as if a movie was going on in my head. And I'm telling him, I'm saying, like, Clayton, you need to make this into a movie one day. He was like, all right, I will. I got to get the money up first for it. I'm just like, all right, bet. When this book is made into a story or made into a movie, I'm going to be the one that's sitting front row and telling people like this. I was there when it was coming up. So as Clayton loved reading, he was a teacher, he was a librarian. So he had that passion for giving to students. And also he went and volunteered for Teach for America and taught English in Brazil. So he was a giver naturally. Unfortunately, due to his untimely demise on my birthday, October 2nd, 2019, that experience, those stories will never be experienced by no one else. So that's when I took it upon myself to create the Sleepy Owl Company in his honor, because he loved literacy, he loved reading, he loved writing, he loved kids and stories, and he was a great storyteller. So in honor of his talent, his legacy, I created the Sleepy Owl Company. I was studying for a test, and I was so heartbroken by the loss of my best friend that I couldn't even focus on my accounting test at the time, that I just threw the accounting work to the side and I just started writing up the business plan for the Sleepy Owl Company. The reason why it's called Sleepy Owl, because I was sleepy. I was so tired at the time, but his favorite bird was an owl. And the owl represents wisdom, knowledge, and prosperity. So that's why I'm just like, you know what? The Sleepy Owl Company.
Okay. So where are we with the Sleepy Owl Company right now?
Yes, sir. So currently we are in the building process, the building stage of highlighting all the areas that we're going to tackle with the weaknesses that we may incur, as well as building out the platform for the storytellers, because this platform is a never before seen twist to storytelling. And with all the contracts and all the collaboration that we have going on, it's a pretty penny. So I kind of scaled back a little bit just so I can make sure that the funds were surrounded around me so that I can afford this. Because once we go full steam ahead, it's no stopping.
Yes.
The idea alone generated over $20,000 in the year of 2021 on business pitch competitions on the idea alone. So I put that money to the side. I'm just like, all right, let me put this money to the side and generate more because of how healthy the price is. So we're still letting people know about what's to come. But as the website is being developed, we scale back to kind of make sure that all our ducks and all our I's and our T's are crossed and dotted. So we'll be coming up something soon, very soon, to kind of make sure that everyone knows that like this is the most innovative thing that the world has ever seen.
So when you scaled back on this company, what did you do? What type of work are you doing now on the entrepreneurial side?
Yes, sir. So when it came to scaling back, I was kind of hurt, but it was more so of like, okay, Mekal, sometimes you got to take 2 steps back to leap 10 steps forward.
Yes.
So that's what I did. And in the meantime, as I'm like, okay, as this company is, as we need money to develop the website, what can I do? So I put my brain, I wrap my head around my brain. I'm just like, what can I do? What can help me generate money right now to help this business and help this dream come to fruition? And it was Turo. I came across Turo, which is a car sharing platform that allows you to rent out your cars to everyday people for everyday use, whether it be economy cars, sports cars, exotic cars, or antiques. And I didn't believe it at first, so I started in 2021 with my business was already established. I didn't really have business credit. So when I moved from Knoxville, Tennessee to Memphis, I dared myself to like, Mekal, you need to make this happen. So I went to a dealership and I started the process on getting a vehicle in my business name. Although the business credit was not established, I had a lady come up to me. I told her my story about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and she decided to help me. She was a car salesman. She was like, "Hey, sweetheart, although you don't have the business credit developed now to get a car in your business name, I'm going to help you out." So God truly sent this lady in my path to be the one to kind of proctor or facilitate my transition into business entrepreneurship on a higher scale. I was able to get the first car that I got on Turo was a 2021 Dodge Charger sports car. And I'm like, all right, it's either gonna be rented out by people and make money, or I'm gonna be stuck with a car note. And that first month, it made $1,500. The first month of January 2021, it made $1,500. And I was like, this is real. The car note at the time on it was only like $600. So I made around like a $900 profit. So I'm just like, this is real. Like, oh my gosh.
So let me interrupt you for a second. Let's go
Mhm.
back and let's just talk about Turo again.
Yes.
Tell us what Turo is, and then give us a little bit more detail about it. This is exciting that you're able to continue to build your dream and made a pivot into something that you had no idea was out there, but it's generating funds for you. Tell us a little bit more about Turo, and then we want to go back into it.
Yes, sir. So Turo, man, this Turo is one of those things, and how it came to be about. It's one of those things where listen to what God is telling you. The questions that you're asking, the things that you're asking for, the answer will come to you. So Turo is an online car sharing platform that allows regular people to rent out other regular people's cars, whether it just be a second car that you have that's just sitting in the parking lot collecting dust, and you want to rent it out for extra side income, you can. It's not a platform I created. It's a platform that was created by someone else. And basically, as a host, I am using the platform to rent out my cars. So it's like Airbnb, but for cars. So if you need a car, your car broke down, you can get on the Turo app and you can select the days that you will need a car from, and all the options that you may have will pop up at the price range that you set for. And it's become more affordable than Hertz. The availability is more available than Hertz, Avis, the rental car companies, and it's more personable because you're not dealing with a company. You're dealing with another individual that you can actually touch, see, talk to, gain a relationship with, because they're the ones that's giving you the car. So it's more heartfelt and more peer-to-peer than just you standing in line, you doing the paperwork and filling out paperwork and giving them the credit card information and getting a car. It's more, hey, my name is John and I'm flying into Memphis, but all the rental car companies don't have cars. Do you have something available? Yes, I have a 2023 BMW M440i that you can rent out. Thank you so much. This saves my life. And there's so many times where these circumstances happen, and the fact that Turo is an option helped me generate not only side income, but main income, because this income that I generate from Turo quickly and easily replaced my income from my job that I had.
Wow, wow, wow. So you said in that first month you made $1,500 off of a Dodge Charger, which the note was only $600.
600. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. And so how many, so at this point, where are you with Turo?
Yes, sir. So I started Turo in 2021. I am with one car. I am up to 21 cars now.
Wow.
21 car
Wow.
fleet, all handled by myself. I manage everything from the analytics to the data to the customer responses to delivering cars, cleaning the cars. I manage everything. It grew up, it grew fast. And when I tell you it grew fast, my relationship building skills helped me generate relationships with Roadshow BMW, Dodge Gossett, AutoNation Honda, and Jim Carrey Chevrolet. And I have specific people that I go to. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to get a car today. Yes, sir. Mr. Smith, what car do you want? Because now, as I've been doing this for so long, for these 3 years, my business credit is already established. Now they're not using me or needing me. They're using the Sleepy Owl's reputation and perfect payment history to determine what I get approved for.
That is so awesome. Let's talk about how important it is to establish your business and business credit. And then we're going to get back to Turo because that's just something that popped up.
Yeah.
So your Turo company, your Turo piece is under the Sleepy Owl as well?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct. So the Sleepy Owl Company was my first LLC that I established and built in honor of my best friend trying to get that established. So I already had a step ahead by having that already. So how you build business credit is by getting things under your business name and paying off things and paying off great payment history. So when this lady at the Dodge Gossett dealership helped me get the car in my business name, I had to be a personal guarantor, meaning it was like I co-signed for my business.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So me co-signing for my business, I had to use my personal credit, which I had a great credit score, over a 700. Over a 700 credit score. I have 100% payment history and payment, never miss a payment. So that alone helped the banks be comfortable with giving me the money to get this car in my business name as a personal guarantor. It's very important because you're not going to have good business credit if you don't have good personal credit. If you have a history of not making your payments, they're going to attribute that to your business as well. Because my LLC is a one solo member LLC, which means everything that the business makes, it trickles down to what I make. Because I'm a solo member entrepreneur, it's a one. What's the phrase for it? It's your
like sole proprietor.
it's a LLC, but it's a solo member, one member, one member managed LLC, which is
that's what mine is as well.
Yes, you're the only one that manages, so you're considered as a disregarded entity in the eyes of tax law. So that means whatever your LLC makes, it trickles down straight onto you as a personal level make. So if you make $50,000 in your job and your business made $100,000, taxes wise, you made $150,000. That's how it works. But the LLC also gives you benefits of being able to deduct all your depreciation, your expenses, and such and so forth.
Well, that's awesome, man. And the fact that you were able to pivot into something that's been so remarkable and that has
Mhm.
generated the type of funds that you've replaced your job
Yes.
and you're still building another company. Well, it's the same company, you just created another stream of income in the company.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. If you don't mind me asking, how much did you generate in that first year?
My first year, my first year with 6 cars. My first year, I ended my first year with Turo with 6 cars. I generated around $86,000.
Oh, wow. Wow.
$86,000 with 6 cars. The
Wow.
second year was around, this was last year, the second year. I'm working on my third year now. The second year this was with 10 cars, around 10 to 11 cars. I ended up with 163 last year, 163,000. And now this year I'm projected to get over 300,000.
Oh man. Oh, that is so awesome. Now let me ask you this. How do you manage your maintenance and all of that? Do you have a spreadsheet that you keep up with everything on? And
Yes, sir. I have a spreadsheet managing the expenses, the gas, the mileage, and the renewals of any maintenance, any tags, all on the Excel spreadsheet, as well as I have relationships with Take Five, Glide Express Car Wash, to where they know me by name. So when they see my face, they're like, boom, we gotta get his car in and out because he's a business. He needs that car. So it's all about the economy that I created around myself and my cars helps me be more efficient, helps me be more profitable, and it helps me make better relationships because if something happens to the cars, I go to one specific car repair shop, which is Key Collision, who handle all my car repairs at a great affordable price, and they're like family to me now. They said I might as well start working there or be a spokesperson for them because I come to them so much.
well, I think you just became a spokesperson for them. I've mentioned them on the podcast. I'll make sure I keep that in there. So that's
Yes,
awesome. So they're gonna have to give you a discount. Absolutely. Well, man, you have just become a mogul with this, and I'm so excited and I'm glad that you are sharing this with us. As you manage your overhead and things like that, how do you handle managing your overhead?
so and I still consider myself an up and coming business, new to all this entrepreneurship stuff. So I'm still in the process, not process, I'm still in the mindset of making sure that all my expenses are as minimum as possible. Meaning I'm not jumping the gun. If I can't afford an employee, don't afford an employee. That's why I'm still handling everything myself so that I can make sure that I operate efficiently, profitably, and I survive. I'm trying to survive that mark to where I have some money in a savings or I have some money working for me to where I can afford someone. Because my thing is this, I don't want to jump too fast. I don't want to go too far by myself to where someone is relying on me to support their income or their lifestyle. And I fall short and I have to fire someone. So I'm making sure that I don't move too fast or put my foot ahead of where I'm not supposed to be because this is important. When you're building a business, you're also going to be hiring people that rely on you. So I'm growing my leadership skills. I already feel like I've been prompted to be a great leader. So now it's like I'm taking this more seriously. Let me make sure I'm answering the question.
You
But
just answered the question,
okay.
and I appreciate that. And you are ready to hire someone,
Yes,
and you're
sir.
not going to fail, and you will be able to keep them employed. One of the first things you can look at is a virtual assistant. And that would
Yes.
lift some of that stuff off of you because virtual assistants are not too expensive. And if you find a company that you can get a good trusted one, they can
Mhm.
handle a lot of that logistics paperwork for you so that you can like free up some of your mind to start thinking back on the publishing side.
Yes.
Because it sounds like you have this in a bag right now. This is
Man.
it's almost on autopilot for you. So that's
Yes, sir.
exciting that you have built the relationships. How did you make sure that you build those relationships with the different people in terms of like the car wash, the maintenance company, and the dealerships? What did you do to make sure that you had those relationships?
Honestly, man, it's all about people. Who I am inherently, I'm very inquisitive, very curious to learn other people's story. I truly believe that everyone I come across was meant to be. If you come across my path, I truly believe it was meant. God meant for you to come across my path. So I'm curious about what's your story. And every person that I met at these dealerships, the car salesman, I would interact with them as if they were like my brother, my sister, my a family member. I'm just like, what's your story? And then they'll hear my story. They'll be like, wow. And I'm just like, no, your story is amazing. So, and I tell them, I'm just like, well, look, if I ever need a car, I'm only coming to you. I'm only going to come to you when I come to this dealership. I'm only working with you. And that let them know that, like, okay, he's serious.
Mm-hmm.
He's willing to help me make money and I'm willing to give him a car. I'm going to work with him. I never try to hassle or negotiate in regards of the terms because they negotiate on my behalf with the banks. I'm a solo member entrepreneur who's making this amount of money. They knock down MSRP. They knock down my negative equity trade because of my consistency and because of my dedication to coming to the specific dealerships. So people are so quick to like, oh, I'm going to get a car and you need to knock down. Don't hassle them because these people, at the end of the day, they don't know you. So build the relationship with them first, and then they'll be like, okay, we'll knock down the car by $10,000 because you're a dedicated customer. Because I truly believe I can't do this alone. I can't. With 20 cars, I need help. I need some type of systems that are in place that make me more efficient, make me more profitable, and make me more relevant. Because if it wasn't for me having the relationship with the kids that work at the Glide Express car wash, they ask me questions. And me, I'm an open book. So I immediately turn my attention to how can I help them? Because these are teenagers that are working in these car washes that see my nice car. I have a 2024 BMW M4 competition. And they see that and just like, what do you do for a living? I'm getting asked the questions, what do I do for a living now? So that's when I open up, I'm like, this is what I do. They be like, how can I do this? How can I do that? I'm just like, all right, bet. And I talk to them. And then now every time they see me when I come up to get my car washed, they be like, oh, that's Mr. Smith, raise the arm. He already got so many cars, raise the arm up. So it helped me position myself um as a person that's willing to help. If you help me, I'm helping you. We're both growing. And one thing that the repair shop came to me and told me, they was like, Mekal, it was crazy to me. It kind of almost made me cry. But the lady that worked at the repair shop at Key Collision told me we had a conversation about you. Roadshow, the managers at Roadshow BMW and us, we had a conversation about you. I'm like, what was said? They was like, how you're helping us make money. You created your own ecosystem by buying a car, renting the car gets damaged, you come to us for repairs. So everyone's making money in this circle. And it helped me show it helped show me that this is what entrepreneurship is about. Creating that ecosystem to where everybody's winning. You make money, you make money, you make money. If I do this, you make money. If I do this, you benefit. Everyone's benefiting. And it's just like that helped me realize, boom, Mekal, that's what entrepreneurship is about. That's why entrepreneurs get benefits on tax breaks because they're feeding the ecosystem. They're feeding the economy to survive and thrive. By me renting out my cars and having to deliver them to the airport, I have to Uber back. So that's me paying an Uber, supporting the Uber driver to make money by taking me back to my home. And that's me delivering the car to to a client at the airport. Boom, that's a success. Relationship with Uber drivers, it's all important because if you don't have that system in place, you will not thrive as an entrepreneur.
Yes, you just said two key things, and they were all bars. Everything you said was bars. But the key thing you said is that you're interested in other people.
Mm-hmm.
Dale Carnegie wrote a book on how to win friends and influence people. And one of the first things he said was, people love people who are interested in their story.
Yeah.
And when you listen to other people and you're interested in their story, you ask great questions about them, then people that breaks down those barriers and they're willing to talk about themselves. And the second thing you said is relationships.
Yes.
Relationships is key to everything. And that's the point of my life that I'm in where I've been in so many relationships that I've been the giver and there's nothing coming back. But what I have found in this entrepreneur world is that where you give, you do receive.
Yeah, you do.
And sometimes it may not come back from the same place, but usually it does in the entrepreneur world. It's in the job market where everybody's just trying to create everything for themselves. They're trying to just because jobs, capitalism creates that type of unhealthy competition where you
Yeah.
think it's not enough to go around. And that's
Mhm.
what I've enjoyed about being in this entrepreneur world. That's where I met you in
Yeah.
Co-Starters, which is a company which is at the epicenter here in Memphis, where entrepreneurs work together and learn how to start their companies. And I'm so glad that I did meet you. And when I saw you at the car wash that morning, you shared your story. I was like, "Hey, we got to talk about that because it inspired me
Yes,
because
sir.
you're helping so many people, man. But also you're helping yourself and you're helping your daughter, and
Yeah.
you're still lifting the legacy of your good friend. So you
Yes.
have so many things going on within this ecosystem that you created that is truly inspiring. And for you to be such a young man and to create this system is exciting. And that's one of the things that I've loved about my entrepreneur journey, that most of the people that I'm learning from, they are younger than me. And that's the beauty of you all's generation, is that you all are not packed down with that fear that we came with
Yeah.
coming out of the 90s and into the 2000s. You all were born in the internet age. You
Yeah.
are digital natives. You understand how to use this digital space to create an ecosystem for yourself. And so I'm excited that I met you. This will not be our last podcast. Is there anything else that you would like to share to entrepreneurs out there that are on their journey? Because what you've shared this morning is that your main dream that you had, you didn't put it on hold. It's not really on pause. It's just in a slower phase right now.
Yes. Yes.
As you created a whole new ecosystem to fund this ecosystem.
Yeah.
And it seems like this ecosystem that you created to fund that one has taken on a world of its own, that I'm
On
hope
world
you're
of its
able to
own.
get back over to this one right here.
Way quicker. Yes, sir.
So is there anything that you'd like to share in that space to help other entrepreneurs?
Yeah. I'm gonna say this, do it scared. One thing about entrepreneurship, that imposter syndrome does come in, but once you stay on your path, once you stay on your purpose, you find everything falling into place. Because once I realized, once that high ticket for the development of what we're building for the Sleepy Owl company, once I saw that, I could have been so deterred, like, oh no, I can't afford that. But I went straight to him, like, I didn't say no, I can't afford. I said, Mekal, how can I afford this?
Yes.
What can I do now, or what can I do today that can make me a dollar step closer to being able to afford this? So
Yes.
I'm thankful that God delivered that idea of Turo. Because I've heard of Turo before in
Yes.
2017, and I was about to do it with my Camaro, but I was so fearful. I'm just like, nah, can't nobody drive my car. I never let nobody drive my car. And then in 2021, where I was just like, Mekal, do it. Just do it. You can't take this stuff with you. So for it to create its own world so quick, so vast, and so successful, that lets me know, Mekal, you're on the right path. And as I stay on the right path, my path becomes my progression on my path becomes quicker, because it expands, and it amplifies, because now I have a goal of not just working to get my money, I'm earning my money by my business income, my job income, and my investments. So I'm glad this happened, because by the what before I pivoted, my success with dream capture, it was becoming fast, getting mentioned in news articles, winning business pitch competitions, but it was fast. And I feel like God showed me, like, all right, you're moving fast. I want to slow you down. Let me make you think. Let me break you down a little bit, because I'm going to truly make you the successful entrepreneur that I know you can be. So for him to put me on this journey of pivoting and thinking about how I can serve, I'm meeting other entrepreneurs. I'm meeting people just based on me serving other people by giving them
Yes.
cars.
Yes.
So I have a 2024 BMW M4 competition, probably the only one in Memphis right now. And that car caught the attention of a CEO that works for that is the CEO of Elvis Presley Enterprises. And he saw it. He was like, "Am I supposed to know you?" I'm like, "No, sir. I don't think you're supposed to know me." He was like, "Man, this car, like, not many people know what this is. Do you know what you have?" I was like, "Nah, I really don't. BMW, they just helped me get it." But that connection, he saw something in me. He was like, "What's your story?" He's an 80-year-old man and was interested in my story. He
Yes.
heard my story. He was like, I want to help you. I want to help you. And I don't know what I can do, but if you need anything, guidance, advice, I'm here. So we exchange lines of communication, and it's just like, because of my path, because of where I'm going, I meet so many people that are saying, Mekal, keep on going, brother. Keep
Yes.
on going.
Yes.
You got it. I
Yes.
may doubt myself, but I have people such as you, my friend, so many people that are helping me, because sometimes I have friends that are my neighbors. My neighbors help me deliver cars sometimes.
Yes.
My neighbors help me deliver cars sometimes, and they have such a great faith in me to just keep on going that I have no reason to fail. And for any entrepreneur that is hearing this, you have no reason to fail if you stay on your path. There are going to be so many distractions, so many people telling you, like, hey, I can help you. Hey, do this. Just stay on your path.
Yes.
Stay on your path.
Thank you for sharing that, because I just heard the other day, how do you know when you're on the right path? When everything in front of you disappears.
Oh,
So when
yeah.
you were building the company and you saw like, okay, this is bigger than I thought it was, this price tag is harder. You didn't say it didn't completely disappear, but
Mm-mm.
it slowed down for you.
Yeah.
And you had to do something else. And the same thing for me. I love what I'm doing. And as an educator, I had a path that I thought I was on, and God was like, no, I keep telling you, and I've given you several opportunities to start your own company. And every time I'll fall back into the six-figure trap.
Yes, sir.
You know, when you're making six figures, you can live pretty comfortably. But
Mm-hmm.
God said, you know what? I'm going to make it disappear. And nothing will appear until you start your own thing. And when I started my company, I started one company first, which is It's the Heart Work,
Mm-hmm.
People, Passion, and Purpose. That led me to New Teacher University,
Mm.
which is the one that, and I started New Teacher University as just a gift, because I was walking in classrooms, seeing teachers who were fresh out of FedEx or fresh out of retail, because they were answering to the great resignation that was happening during the pandemic. So teachers
Yep.
were leaving as well, going to places like Amazon, because they could work 4 days a week, make more money, and
Yep.
not have to worry about all of the extra stuff that came with education. So I said, my podcast is going to be to help new teachers who are coming into the classroom. They can listen to a strategy and implement it right away. Well,
Yes.
that's all it was supposed to be. Well, now it's turned into something that just keeps snowballing into something bigger, because as we try to give gifts, things come back to us. And what I have found is, on this entrepreneurial side, as you stated, every step of the way, there's somewhere there to help you.
Yes,
And I
sir.
like that you said do it scared, because it is scary.
Man.
When I created my first podcast 6 months before I published it.
Wow.
I created it, it was just sitting in the computer before I published it. And again, like you said, you have to do it scared, because who's going to say something? Who's going to, no one, talk your ish, be you, do it big, because no one is going to stop you. No
Yeah.
one,
You
there's
know,
no, what you will find is that there are people there along the way to cheer you along. Do not pay attention to what's in front of you.
yeah.
Do not pay attention to what's around you. Pay attention to what's in you.
What's in you?
And when it's in this region of your body, you feel that in your heart and in your stomach area, that's where you're supposed to go. It's when we get up here, we
Mm.
begin to reason.
Yes,
We
sir.
began to try to use logic and say, well, this, well, that, and all those other ideas come in. So I keep it in here, and
Yeah.
that's where I move from.
Yeah.
So thank you
And,
so much for sharing
yes,
this.
sir.
What were you about to say? Something else?
And you're gonna lose people along the way. You're gonna lose friends. I've come on this journey. I've started this journey and lost great friends that I had for long times. And it's just like God removes people to open up space for your wings to expand.
Yes.
God removes people for your wings to expand heavier or bigger, because just like a tree loses its leaves, it still stands tall. It still stands tall and regains new leaves. So
Yes.
this time you go through a transition to where you're losing people. You can become so discouraged. You lose friendships. But the friends that I've lost, I've gained newer friends,
Yes.
newer, more robust relationships that help me, that are not so transactional. They're transformational. These
Yes.
relationships that I built with these people are not transactional. They're very transformational and they're teaching me. Um, and it's just like it hurts to lose people that you care and love about. But when you're going through a transformation and you have people that are getting mad at you because you're isolating yourself, because you truly have to do the groundwork on your own. You're
Yes.
doing the
Yes.
groundwork on your own, and they're getting mad at you. God's gonna come remove those people. These
Preach.
people will try to dim your light or oh no, you shining. Knock it down a little bit. No, that ain't the right person. That ain't the right mentality to have. If you know that you have a great friend who's destined to go places, motivate that light, add electricity to that light. But you have everybody who wants to be the star, and everybody's not a star. And I'm not,
Yes.
by no means am I a star. I serve people. I want to serve people. So I don't want to be the star. I want to be the star promoter. So that way I can be a a leg in the race to help them achieve what they want to do. And I tell every student, every kid who comes up to me and look at my car and marvels at it, they be like, "Oh, this is my dream car." I'm just like, "Look, you can have this way. I got this at the age of 30. I expect you to get this type of car at the age of 23, 25. Because if I'm to help you, that's my goal for you to achieve something way earlier than I achieved it. Because I would have wanted someone like that to come in my life.
Absolutely.
So be okay with losing people. Be okay
Yes.
with meeting new friends because
Yes.
that's all God is doing is freeing up that space for your wings to truly expand to their natural and their full wingspan because you're about to fly.
Yes. Well, Mekal, I would say this. You may not want to be a star, but you are a star, my friend. So own it and walk in it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And you have certainly shared just a lot of great knowledge with us this morning about not just your business, but the journey. And that's what I want
Oh, yeah.
this to be about. And that was just an extreme bar that you just dropped about losing people because you are going to lose people.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you talked about the trees losing leaves, when
Mm-hmm.
those trees are losing leaves, their roots are getting deeper.
Yep.
So you're not supposed to sit around and mourn when you're losing people.
No.
You're supposed to, that's when you're supposed to turn into yourself and begin to grow. And so as
Yes.
those roots grow deeper on that tree, as spring began to hit, you begin to see new growth at the top.
Yep.
So when it's dark and you're losing people and you're by yourself, that's when you're supposed to be reading. You're supposed to be joining groups. You're supposed to be
Yeah.
looking for mentors. You're supposed to be learning something new because you're growing deeper.
Yes,
You're
sir.
growing deeper. And then as spring comes, because you're going to have those winters in your life. Jim
Mm-hmm.
Rohn talks about those winters when things are dead and it seems like nothing is moving. But that's when you're supposed to be studying and growing because spring is going to come where
Yeah.
your growth is going to come. Those new leaves are going to come back, and then you're going to be providing fruit for people around you. And what's
Yeah.
so exciting about you is that you're the oldest in your family.
Yeah. I'm the oldest.
And the example that you're providing for your younger siblings. What do you have, 6 or 7 younger siblings?
6 sisters and 2 brothers.
Okay, so you have that's 8 younger siblings.
Yeah.
So you're from a family of 9.
Yeah.
So am I. I'm the youngest of 9, and you're the oldest of 9. That's awesome. Large families, I love it. So,
Yes,
and
sir.
just even sometimes you're going to lose family members because family members don't always support your dream, and you
Yeah.
have to be okay with that and doing it scared. So, thank you so much. We have Mr. Mekal Smith with us from the Sleeping Owl Company. It's a
Yes, sir.
publishing platform, but right now it's a Sleeping Owl ride sharing or car sharing platform through Turo. So, guys, sometimes you have to pivot. Sometimes you have to make decisions that you don't want to make, but you don't abandon your dream. You can just put it on hold or put it on pause while you're deepening your roots to get to where you want to go. So, thank you all for joining us today on this Hard Work, People, Passion, and Purpose podcast. This is a podcast for people who found their passion and walking in their purpose. And remember, enjoy the journey because someone wishes they were in your shoes.